I'm going to take you guys through some recent purchases I've made. Quick disclaimer, we're working with natural hair today. You're probably going to hear my fan going. And also, I gave my guinea pigs little treats. It's like mental exercises for them. So you're probably going to hear them banging around their cage too. But I live in a zoo, so what can I say? So it's not like the biggest pile in the world, but I thought I would take you through some of the things because like my book hauls tend to be like 40 plus books. And rather than doing that and getting overwhelmed, I thought I would do smaller chunks at a time. So full disclosure, some of these books I read in the past month and a half. Some of them are pretty new to be picked up. So first on the list, I'm going to talk about Mayflies by Andrew O'Hagan. I read this in the month of June, really enjoyed it. It felt very reminiscent of A Little Life, but 100% less upsetting than reading that. And I'll probably talk more about it in my wrap up for June. Next, my pre-order came in for The Wolf by Hannah Witten. As far as I know, this is a very loose retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, to the extent of like the wolf being a man, and I think it's a high fantasy romance. But I pre-ordered it like a long time ago, so I can't quite remember. But I know at the time I was very excited about it. I had the opportunity to read it as an ARC for an ebook, but I was just so excited about the actual experience of reading this. I think the cover is beautiful, and I actually have my eye to read this more towards the fall. So I figured I would wait and really fall into the woodsy kind of high fantasy fall that I really envision reading this. Next, I picked up Survive the Night by Riley Sager. Riley Sager, I have kind of a hit and miss relationship with. So Final Girls, I felt about. I read Lock Every Door, which I know was like the high critical acclaim. And I read this one, actually I finished reading it about 4 days ago now. So I'm actually excited to talk about this in my wrap up, so I won't say too much besides it was a wild ride, that one. No pun intended. Because it's a horror themed around carpool. Next, I picked up The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I read the debut from this author, which was The Silent Patient. Didn't super like that, but I did like the writing style. So this one is about a therapist who runs group therapy and has recently lost her husband. She believes that she has found a murderer. So I'm interested to see where this goes. I am 50 pages in right now, and I plan to read it over the next couple of days that I have off. So I'm pretty excited for that one. Next, I have My Broken Language, which, full disclosure, I read the second I got. It is by Kiara Budes, and she co-wrote the screenplay for In the Heights, which I might as well become a stan account because I absolutely love that movie. I'm going to see it again this evening with my partner. I'm very excited about it. So I picked this up when I saw she had written a memoir. This is about growing up in a Philadelphian barrio and what it was like to be a second generation Latin, having struggled with learning Spanish and growing up, 1 foot in and 1 foot out of the culture. So it was super interesting. I had such a great time opening that door, learning about another Latina's experience, and it was just a really, really great memoir, and honestly, gorgeous cover. I can't remember if I hauled this, but this is Norwegian Wood by Murakami. I read After Dark last year by Murakami, really enjoyed it, and I'm excited to read about this one, which centers around a young man who is in a monogamous relationship. He's been in it a while, and then another young woman catches his eye. I believe that's what it's about. So I'm interested. I am currently 27 pages in, so I have no updates. Next, I have Death in Her Hands. This is the same author that wrote My Year of Relaxation, which I read in 2019, I believe, and really, really enjoyed. I it is very slow going. The cover of My Year of Relaxation is deceptively boring looking, but honestly, I think it makes it more, it almost pulls me in more knowing that I love the story, and how boring the cover they chose for it really works with the story. So this is another work from the author. I have no idea what this is really about, besides a older woman finds a note that says, "I killed her. I'm admitting to it here, but you'll never find the body." And essentially she falls into this sort of entrapment of the note, trying to solve a young lady's murder without the body and without the murderer. So I'm hoping to really be wowed by this. Next, I got The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. This is when I got on my e-reader. I read it for the sort of trio of books I decided to pull that were about pandemics, and I really wound up enjoying this, so I wanted to get a hard copy that I could pass around to friends or suggest to people if they were looking for something like this. Emma Donoghue is an author that I think I will forever pick up her works when they come out. She has such an interesting and malleable writing style, depending on what she's trying to portray and what she's trying to do with a story. I started off reading The Room, which I feel like is relatable to a lot of people. I read it, then watched the movie, and then read, it's not Afterlife, I can't remember what it's called. It's the one with the tree on the front. The Wonder, that's what it's called. And finally picked this up for my pandemic themed reading. And I was not disappointed. She's just a brilliant writer. She is so skilled. She knows her craft very well. She knows what to do and what not to do to pull a reader in. So if you don't mind maybe less linear, or if you don't mind thinking a little bit and a little bit quirky of a writing style, narrative choice is always very interesting when you're reading Emma Donoghue. So I really enjoyed this. It was gorgeous. It was brilliantly done. But that's basically what it's about. It's about a pandemic that's happening in the world. That was just a review. I can't help myself. Next, I got the paperback copy of The Beauty in Breaking. I read this 2 years ago now. This is about a ER doctor that decides to discuss everything she learned while working in the emergency response unit, pertaining to love and death and forgiveness, and it's just gorgeous, and I really wanted a copy that I could pass around to friends. I think there's a lot that I picked up and learned from this, and I cried, and it was just gorgeous. It's beautiful. I also picked up Rosemary and Rue. This is book 1 in Seanan McGuire's October Day series. So I recently learned about this series. I hadn't known much about it before, but I'm running out of Seanan McGuire to read. I'm reading the Wayward Children series now, and then I have Middle Game. And then come to find out, this is a very big series that apparently a lot of people love. I was recommended this series by one of my friends, essentially saying, if you like A, B, and C, pick up Rosemary and Rue. So I did. And I haven't even read the synopsis. I want to go in blind with this one and kind of just be wowed with the world. So hopefully I like it. And next I'm going to talk about 2 arcs that I received that I'm very excited about. So first is Once More with Feeling by Sophie McCreish. This is funny, but essentially the pitch for this was, if you liked My Year of Relaxation, then read this book. So that's all I really know about it, but I'm excited to give it a go. It comes out in August here in Canada, so it's not too long. It's 215 pages, so I'm excited to see exactly what's going on here. I'm already absolutely in love with the cover, and if that's going to be the cover for the hardcover, I'll probably wind up getting it. And lastly, one of my most anticipated reads this year. I had no idea I would be able to receive an ARC for it, so I am over the moon thrilled about it. But I will have my pre-order of my hard copy coming in anyway, and I'll just have 2 copies laying around here. Is All's Well by Mona Awad. This is the author that wrote Bunny, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. Bunny literally set the precedence of weird, cultish just bizarre books that I love. And I am so excited to know what this is about. There are a few authors that I will buy blindly from. I will pre-order to support. They have proven themselves by at least 2 books that I enjoy their works, so I will blindly pre-order and just be wowed by what kind of journey they want to take me on, and that's exactly what I'm doing with All's Well. The cover is enough of a sell for me. It's gorgeous, and I am just so excited. I do think there's a Shakespearean theme, if I remember correctly. It deals with depression and Shakespeare. So that was all of my recent purchases. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.